You may have noticed devices like these being worn by people with diabetes and people without.
And what we found interesting is a lot of people that don't have diabetes don't know what CGMs were initially created for.
And some people with diabetes don't know about the non-diabetic use case. As a company who's worked with over 300,000 people across the medical necessity spectrum, we wanted to share both sides in this day in the life video.
After waking up and sharing what our blood sugar tells us about our health and our day, we met up in Utah for breakfast.
What are we having?
This is my famous salmon toast, and it was born out of my love for Lox bagels,
Which is the perfect low-carb replacement for a Lox bagel. While Megan prepared it, I bolused based on the amount of carbs I thought were in the meal without checking the nutritional guides and scale.
So bolus is going to be a mix of your carb count for your meal, what your blood sugar is, and where your blood sugar is trending, and based on that, if you will also need to involve a correction dose. So bolus is always going to be before a meal or whenever carbs are being introduced, whether that's through a liquid, a solid. Bolus is, for me, always before meals. Like right now, I am at 151. And so I always try to take insulin at least like 15 to 20 minutes before a meal, but life is busy and it's crazy, and sometimes you don't get that luxury.
As someone who doesn't have type 1 diabetes, my pancreas is constantly secreting a base level of insulin throughout the day, and I don't have to manage that at all through a pump or through injections like someone with type 1 diabetes would. And for a meal, I don't have to prepare insulin ahead of time or even think about insulin at all, because different hormones secreted through beta cells are gonna do all of that for me. So it really is an extreme luxury and something that I'm grateful for, because people with type 1, when their autoimmune disease attacks their pancreas, they lose all of that and they have to do it all themselves, which is what Avery is gonna be showing throughout this video.
We then measured everything with a scale to get a precise carb calculation.
But what's the first thing you're thinking about as we sit down for this meal?
Picking up the food, putting it in my mouth. That's the first thing I would do.
For me, I am carb counting. I'm considering what my blood sugar is, and with those two together is based on how much insulin I'm gonna take.
Oh, so every time you sit down to eat, you have to carb count before you would even start eating?
Yes.
From the scale measurements, we checked out the nutritional guides for the breakfast. We totaled everything up.
So that totals us around 30 carbs.
Sweet.
I took
I don't even
insulin
know.
for 33 grams without looking at anything.
That's crazy. So you guessed that, you bolused for it, and now you would dig in, or would you do anything else?
Oh, now we're digging in.
Yes, okay, I'm so excited to see what you think.
I was like, now that the business is aside, now I feel like I get to the point in my meal where I can actually enjoy and release a little bit.
I hope you like it.
I am so excited. I'm digging right in.
It's good. Okay. So with diabetes, because you're managing your insulin and being your own pancreas, you never get a break, but sometimes you can choose to have a break from the restrictions that you might put on for specific goals.
Absolutely.
That's so good to know. But it's a lot. And it's cool to like see your side of things as we're eating the exact same meal in the exact same spot.
An exact same amount of measuring and carb counting.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you for teaching me this.
And thank you for making food.
Yes, you're welcome. Anytime.
I'm feeling kind of tired. Do you want to get some coffee?
Yes, let's go. Okay.
Blood sugar test.
Yes, let's check it before we add more food.
Okay, where are you at after the sweet potato?
After the sweet potato, I had a baby peak at 106 or 107, and now I'm already back down to 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also have very good steady results. Right now I am 118. Since I bolused ahead of time before we sat down and ate, I am nice and steady. So since I'm pretty steady, it actually impacts what I order. So since I'm steady sailing and I don't want to risk a spike right now, I chose cold brew with a splash of oat milk. So there's minimal carbs, I don't have to worry about a spike, and it's smooth sailing for me here on out.
Nice. So if you would have waited to bolus until we sat down to eat, what do you think your blood sugar would have looked like?
If I waited to bolus, I definitely would be seeing it on my graph and feeling it. I think I would have spiked, and then gradually would have come back down because I took the correct amount of insulin, but not at the right time.
Oh, so you have to think about your blood sugar before you eat, when you eat, and now after you eat, when you go to get your coffee.
24/7.
That's wild.
So if I would have got what you ordered, I would have had to bolus in the car.
So you would have had to already know your order. You couldn't just decide by looking at the menu.
Exactly.
That's crazy, because for me, I just came here and I was like, oh, this is a house special. It's like a flavor I haven't seen before. I'll just get that. And then I ordered it half sweet because I know when I order full sweet, I have an even crazier response. I'm still gonna have a response to this. I just don't have to dose insulin or really do anything. And so I got to just pick based on flavor. Yo, with just a third of my coffee, it spiked the same amount as my entire breakfast. Still in range, but I find that super interesting. I also realized that I have no idea how many carbs or how many grams of sugar is in this. I'm just YOLOing it.
And that was like their half sweetened coffee, right?
Yeah. Half sweet is all of breakfast and just a third. So imagine like downing a full one of these, or like the ventis from Starbucks. So you can't just YOLO half sweet because you wouldn't know. You can't ask them, can I have 10 grams of sugar, please?
From my experience, that's why I order cold brew. I don't ask for sugar-free syrups or half sweetened syrups, just because at every coffee shop I've experienced different ranges of what half sweet may be to one coffee shop to another. So to avoid not knowing, I do enjoy ordering cold brew because right now I'm 96.
I'm 102.
Perfectly steady. It's
Including
including
chart
like
looks amazing.
including like the sweet potato toast. I'm always really steady, but that's my biggest problem with ordering coffees at different coffee shops, is not knowing what range of sweetness and like how many carbs are in the sweetener total. So cold brew is always safe for me. Have you noticed an impact on drinking like sugary coffee?
Yes, one time I went to my friend's favorite coffee shop and I ordered their specialty beverage, not half sweet, it was like an orange coffee, and it was like a totally peak and crash situation.
Even without type 1, I try to avoid peaks and crashes because they impact my focus and mood. Even more importantly, I can use what I learn about recipes, restaurant orders, and workouts to help my family and friends get back into a normal range. This is a screenshot of my dad's Stelo readings when he ate a normal breakfast burrito and coffee compared to the day I made him a low glycemic breakfast burrito and coffee. He said it was the first day in months he didn't feel sleepy all day, and you can see he got back into a normal range instead of his typical pre-diabetic range. I hope to use this Stelo to be a guinea pig for my dad and other people who want to make a change but don't have time to experiment.
That is such a helpful perspective of why people would want to wear the Stelo. Because sometimes as a type 1 diabetic, I get frustrated when people wear Stelo and they don't have the foundation or the knowledge behind why CGMs were even invented. And they were originally created for people that have type 1 diabetes, but now with like modern technology and things evolving, you're able to use this data to improve your life.
Yeah.
And you have the knowledge of where they came from. It's a beautiful way of bridging the two communities together.
Yeah, I'm so excited to start making more videos and start bridging the community together, because I think something that everyone can benefit from, and a reason why someone without diabetes would wear a glucose monitor, would be to make themselves more aware of how high sugar our food is becoming, how high carb our food is becoming. Burgers have gotten more and more carby. People are putting sugar in hamburger buns to make it taste sweeter. And I think if everyone notices these things and goes for lower glycemic options, that will also give type 1 diabetics more options when they go to restaurants, when they go to coffee shops. Maybe someday you'll actually be able to see how many grams of sugar are in a pump of sweetener, which would be useful.
It would be huge.
Yeah.
And just to help overall knowledge of type 1 diabetes,
let's get to work.
let's work. Cheers.
Welcome to our workstation. What do you pack when you go to a co-working session?
I would show you everything, but I am currently 65 and dropping, which is low for me. So first thing that I packed
Yeah, let's get into that.
is going to be, which everywhere I go, I always pack plenty of options, but right now I am not very hungry because of the coffee and the toast, so I'm going to have a glucose gel.
Megan explained the Stelo doesn't measure below 70, and she doesn't experience extreme lows like I do as a type 1 diabetic. My blood sugar was still continuing to drop, and I showed Megan all my low snack options: glucose gels, glucose gummies, protein bars. I always carry plenty of options. I needed a moment to wait for my blood sugar to come back up. So Megan jumped in to say what we are working on at ExpressionMed.
I'm really excited about our animal tapes. I think they're so cute, and you can see all the details of the bumps in the frog's skin.
Looks like he's holding your Stelo.
Yeah, that's so cute. He could also be holding a lotus flower, like a Zen dude, or you can just have him holding your Stelo, or really any design, I guess, which is super fun. Instead of having this busy pattern, I could have this beautiful blue. I don't remember the blue from Devil Wears Prada. We also have some pastels, which I'm really excited about, keeping the tape less busy. And these also come in ovals, which is super fun. There are so many different designs on our website. We have over 300. They range from things as simple as skin tones to make your device blend into your skin, to super fun characters and patterns. If you are someone new to the Stelo, if you're wearing it to look into your health, or to, like me, develop recipes for people in your family who have more wide-ranging blood sugars, you can now buy the Stelo on our website, and we'll be offering 2 free designs of your choice with your Stelo. So you can pick anything just to check out our material and check out the Stelo. So keep an eye out for that. I'm super excited for it.
After my blood sugar finally came up, we compared our blood sugars. While comparing blood sugars, we discovered a difference between the Dexcom and Stelo we'd never noticed before. How come on the Stelo app you can view your blood sugar by the calendar date, but on the Dexcom you only have a 24-hour view within the Dexcom app? We know we can use Dexcom Clarity to download our reports. I love Dexcom, and I wouldn't trade it for any other CGM, but I'm so jealous of this Stelo feature. I hope it's on the way for the G7 soon. If I had to guess, I would say app changes take longer for Dexcom because of its medical nature.
Oh, you're going up now.
See, it's a game. It's a game. I'm like,
Rage.
so I'm hoping that it'll just like, it'll go up, but it won't go above my range.
Our bodies are the same. Like, you weren't born a completely different human being. There's just one function that you have to do on your own, a big one. But all else, our bodies, like, got brains, we got hearts, we got all the things. Yeah.
All the things, except I just have to be in my own pancreas.
Sometimes when my blood sugar goes up, it comes down for free. And when it goes super low, it comes back up for free. And I don't have to do any extra work. And I call that pancreas privilege. And so we can make that a thing or not, but it's something we do say, and it's true.
After we worked, we hit the gym. Thankfully, I recovered from my low blood sugar. To prevent another one from happening at the gym, I showed Megan what I do to prep for a workout. I set my pump in activity mode, which reduces the amount of insulin I receive, known as the basal rate.
So this reduces my basal rate, which is insulin that I receive every hour. So that way when I'm working out, I don't drop. Because for me, when I'm working out, whether it's cardio, even sometimes with lifting, strength training, I drop.
Megan and I showed our workout prep and routines and discussed how the Stelo helps people without medical need optimally fuel their workouts and prevent crashes while managing blood sugar is far more involved and not optional for me as a type 1 diabetic. We compared our blood sugars after our workout, and we were both nice and stable. Score! We got so wrapped up in filming, we had to stick with some snacks for lunch while we sat on the couch reflecting on the day.
Whoa, what a day. We covered so many things. Some of our glycemic reactions were what we thought they would be. Some of them were completely unexpected. I think when I first started working with type 1 diabetics, I assumed that wearing a glucose monitor would kind of be like eyes into what type 1 diabetes is like, but it's so different. The way I feel very grateful, the way that my body corrects everything. And now I really understand how for non-diabetics, glucose monitors are really used for energy optimization, understanding how your body fuels itself, optimizing your workouts, and avoiding high highs and low lows to eliminate or lessen your risk for chronic diseases. but there's really not a lot of active adjustments or continuous necessary monitoring, which is very different than what you experience.
Yes, I think it could even be used as a tool for people in my life or loved ones to have a glimpse into what it's like wearing a CGM. And I would love them to wear Stelo and we do a comparison where it's like, what's your blood sugar? Where they're always checking in on me, where I can check in on them and be able to understand each other.
That is so sweet. That is so cool.
Just being able to compare like Stelo to Dexcom, where within my day, Dexcom is crucial to my well-being and my survival. Before wearing Dexcom, I was having to do multiple finger pokes a day. There's no arrow telling me where I'm trending, and it felt more like a guessing game. So leveling up from no CGM to a Dexcom was leveling up to me feeling like I can survive, and it's so much of a weight off of my mental well-being, being able to just check my phone really quick and not have to pull out a blood sugar kit, poke the finger, and having to do that multiple times a day. It's so easy where I can just pull out my phone and see where I am. I feel so grateful to have Dexcom.
I'd also love to ask you, Avery, people who are watching this and learning about the Stelo and learning about the Dexcom, is there anything else they can do like beyond this video?
November is National Diabetes Awareness Month.
Yes.
A couple key points I would love for people to take from this is education of the different types of diabetes, having education of what type 1 diabetes is and what those people need, and type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, or someone that just wants to wear CGM, just knowing those differences and doing a deeper dive. Breakthrough T1D has amazing resources on their website about type 1 diabetes and knowing more about it, and knowing the signs and symptoms of who could possibly develop and what things to look for. The American Diabetes Foundation has more about type 2 diabetes and dives into that. So I would encourage anyone that watches this, do a deeper dive, know the differences, and you can be a source of someone that carries low snacks. So if you see someone that's struggling and you can ask them, oh my gosh, is your blood sugar low, and having a snack, it like makes me emotional to think that someone could be prepared and have something for me if I was low.
Yeah.
And not have to constantly worry, like having to constantly explain myself to people. Just having the basic education of people knowing the differences it makes me emotional now.
Yeah.
It makes such a huge impact on our community.
Yeah, the difference between feeling misunderstood and feeling understood is like a football field away from each other. Our goal with our work at large was originally just to make life easier and more fun for people with diabetes, and to understand diabetes in the wild is to make life easier, and to understand and ask about nutrition facts on food, or to vote with your dollars and buy lower glycemic foods and go for those options as you learn about your health will inadvertently help people with type 1 diabetes.
And understand, I had harsh feelings, like I was saying earlier, about Stelo, and it's frustrating that I have to have a prescription in order to get my Dexcom, but just seeing your day and hearing about how it can help so many people, I'm so pro Stelo now, and just showing that you care and you don't have diabetes, because it's always felt like I have to care for myself and my community, but there's actually people outside of that care about us and also want to be a strong voice for us.
Yeah, I would say I was often told, why do you run a company for type 1 diabetics if you don't have type 1 diabetes? And I'll tell everyone, you do not have to have type 1 diabetes to care about people with type 1 diabetes, because people with type 1, they can do anything with their lives. They don't have to be an endocrinologist. They don't have to be an advocate. They can be whatever they want, a soccer player, a stay-at-home mom. And so supporting each other as a society just continues to open up opportunities for the community, which is awesome.
I love that.
Well, this is our first video of many. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate going through this journey with us. As we said earlier, if we missed anything, if you have your own stories that you want to add to the picture, feel free to drop them in the comments. We look forward to learning from you as well.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Before bed, I check one last time before closing my eyes, making sure I'm steady enough to sleep, because the truth is, lows and highs at night can be life-threatening. That's why I rely on alarms on my Dexcom and my Omnipod, so I can rest without fear.
Comment below if you learned something, if we missed something, or if you have a story to add to our educational mix.